Hello. Hola chicas. ¿Cómo estás? Bonjour tout le monde. Ça va bien? Hope you guys are doing well. Is this broadcast going out? I'm just trying to make sure here. Yes, it is. Look at that. We got shits going on. Awesome. Just give me a second, okay? I need to get a little organized here because if you guys haven't seen yet, I'm pretty disorganized in general. So I got to make sure I do this right. Ooh, there we go. All right. So, guys, I don't know. Looks like the show is pretty settled. I have a pretty good idea of where the whole thing is going. Just give me a sec, okay? But I've realized that having to chase around on screens is probably not the best use of time. So what it is that I've done is been intelligent enough to actually make notes for myself. So if you hear the shuffling of papers, it's because I need notes to remind me of where I am, and we can use it as an excuse and say that I look professional. Merci, Lucien. Merci. Lucien Bédard, ladies and gentlemen. Lucien Bédard. Available at all finer record stores everywhere. Let him regale you with his fucking squeeze box. His squeeze box. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you, give a little rundown, and then I'm going to go through the sponsors. How's that? And with papers in front of me and everything. And Lucien will keep us company as I do all of this. Do you guys have your drink prepped? We have some... we got a drink to pour out for some people. But that's where we're going to start. We're going to pour one out for Gord Downie of the Tragically Hip and Mr. Lahey, John Dunsmore. From there, we'll go to what happened last week and what's been happening. Give you a little bit of a rundown and talk a little bit about Record Store Day and some upcoming content. And give you a final update on GRAILS. I wish I didn't have to address it, but I will. After that, we'll do some VJ reviews. The Grateful Dead box set. What the hell is it called? Shuffling Off to Buffalo or something? I don't fucking remember. But anyway, a box set, a 5 LP box set that Org Music put out. There's a whole story there. Underground Kings. The Upsetters, Clint Eastwood rides again. We'll see if we can talk about that. And one that I really didn't expect to come up in terms of content is I'm going to talk about the new Moses Sumney record, Aromanticism, because there seems to be a story there. And yes, please share all of this. And if you share all of this, I will give you records. Okay, so... you do your part, I'll do my part. See Vinyl Me Please up there? Yeah. Let's get that shit done. Okay. Next, we're going to go to the sponsors, man. Real simple. All right. Vinyl Me Please, the best damn record club out there. Visit app.vinylmeplease.com to win a vinyl record. No purchase necessary. So basically, share this. Visit their website. The link is there, and you may win. We're going to pick a winner from last week's shares at the end of the show. Count on it. Soundsmith cartridges. It's what you're listening to right now, and it's actually the preamp that I'm running also. All handmade by experts in upstate New York. Peter Letterman is really a very well-known name in the cartridge industry, but yeah, you want that. So... I made the jingle. Remember the jingle? Visit. How does the jingle go? Sound-smith.com. 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 I really hope that Peter never, ever, ever watches any of these pre-rolls, because if he does, I will get a tongue lashing. Flip Bin. Phil Flip Play Display. Visit Flip Bin for the best vinyl display I've ever used. You see what's cradling Lucien there? That's a Flip Bin. the Tonka truck of bins. Look for them actually in the Vatican gift shop. That is coming. And what I'll do is I'll give you a little, if I haven't gotten there yet, but I'll tickle your tits with a little bit of a, give you an idea of where it is that we're going with the content, okay? So, it's coming. If we move on, you know who it is that's really cool, that supplies me with all my bags and good stuff? Vinyl Style. Those will be up in the Vatican gift shop eventually as well. Vintage solutions for the modern era. Vinyl Style provides the highest level of sustainability for your records and accessories, while most importantly remaining affordable. Protect your collection with Vinyl Style today. Vintage solutions for the modern era. Well done, eh? Very swish. I'll talk more about that stuff as I go on, but yeah, very, very nice stuff. And I mentioned that I'm going to be talking about the Grateful Dead. Well, that's a big, expensive box set, and I'm very proud to tell you that you guys, I got you a 10% code if you wanted it, or anything else from our friends at Org Music. orgmusic.com, shining new light on seminal recordings from vinyl catalogs like CTI Records, Sun Records, Black Lion, the Atlantic and Columbia Jazz catalogs, and many others. Visit orgmusic.com, enter code VJ10 to receive 10% off your entire order. So 10% off your whole order at orgmusic.com, okay? So what it is that I'm saying to you is I have potentially gotten you a discount of $100,000. Okay, go there. If you spend $1 million, I swear to you, I swear, you're gonna save $100,000. Listen, it's a public service, but I'm happy to do it for you. And that's where you're gonna find that Grateful Dead thing as well. And I'm not a Grateful Dead fan, but I'm gonna talk about the Grateful Dead, and hilarity shall ensue. Where do we go next? Canelo Alvarez, is that where we're going next? No, we're not going to go there. I guess we're going to get a little fucking, I don't know. People die, you know? When people die, it sucks. So what I'm going to do is respectfully turn down Lucien a little bit here. And, guys... get a drink, man. Whatever. Seems silly to some, and I get that. That's alright. It's silly. But, pour one out for two absolute Canadian legends. Gord Downie and Jim Lahey. I assure you, they would have enjoyed the thought of us having a good old Canadian beer. Look, it's pretty simple, man. If you're Canadian, if you were born in this country and were around during the 90s, but during, you know, the 2000s, just, you couldn't, it was almost like Céline Dion, man, but the good Céline Dion, which is to say that Tragically Hip was everywhere. It's part of our fabric. Whether you like them or not is completely besides the point. I'm not sure that you'll find too many people in my age group, you know, 40s, 50s, below that, even 30s and stuff, that haven't been to a Tragically Hip show. It's, people pass, you know, but people leave their mark, and the man's got courage. The music mattered to us, and I'm fucking proud to say that, you know, a rights activist like Gord Downie, and just a thoroughly decent human being who made, you know, rock and roll, man. Just rock and roll, but rock and roll that really reflected the things that matter to us. You know, things that I reflected, that I understood, you know, in our culture. Hockey was a huge deal to him. Aboriginal rights, and he was a Boston Bruins fan, and I was with, I went over to a friend's house for supper yesterday, and look, man, that's exactly what we did, right? We started talking about Gord Downie, and he told me that there's a friend of his who is a local broadcaster, Dominic Fazioli. I forgot what television station he is on here in Montreal, but a local television guy called Dominic Fazioli, and he got his degree in journalism in Toronto, and had to live in like fucking garbage conditions in the sketchiest part of town. And this is a second-hand account now, right? And he wanted to get out of that area as much as possible. In between studying, you know, he didn't feel like sticking around where he was. So he'd go out to a bar and find a hockey game to watch. And at one point, he's in a bar, and the Leafs are playing the Bruins, and he walks in with his Bruins jersey. He's a Bruins fan. And everyone else is obviously all decked out in Leafs regalia. And through the room passes a guy, another guy in a Boston Bruins jersey. So the Boston Bruins jersey looks down at Dominic Fazioli and says, hey man, you want to watch the game together? Yeah, I'm a Bruins fan too. I want to be able to enjoy that. And he looked up, and that was Gord Downie. And he didn't even introduce himself as anything. Just he wanted to watch hockey with another Bruins fan, so they sat down and they watched the game together. And I don't know what the score was, but it kind of gives you an idea of why, you know, there's some people that kind of transcend just music or anything and just become icons all on their own. And that's Gord, man. That's Gord Downie. And yeah, so that's number one. And number two, actually, believe it or not, somebody that probably hits me even harder, because Jim Lahey is one of the absolute best characters in Canadian television history, as far as I'm concerned. Trailer Park Boys is just about the biggest dumbass comedy that you could possibly imagine. And that's why you watch it, right? A bunch of stoners, basically on welfare and in and out of jail, hatching up plans and failing all the time, and smoking a fuck ton of weed and drinking a lot, and just, you know, it's a show about white trash. A really funny show about white trash. And the trailer park supervisor is Mr. Lahey, and he was probably, in terms of the entire thing, there was something about John Dunsmore, his real name, when he appeared on screen, that separated him from the rest of the other characters in Trailer Park Boys. You know, so we'll talk about Bubbles, and we'll talk about, you know, obviously Ricky and all his Rickyisms, which are amazing, right? Beauty is in the eye when you hold her. I mean, he's right. Who can argue with this guy? But something else happened when Lahey would get on the screen, as far as I'm concerned. It's kind of like I stood up and paid a little bit closer attention. The dude, there was a performance there. Considering he was just playing a stumbling drunk all the time, there was a certain performance, there was a certain panache that he brought to the entire character that just made him that made him the liquor. You understand? And I don't think that that's something that too many people possess, but when it happens, it's a lot of fun. And further on in life, you know, he would continue to communicate with his fans via Twitter, basically as Mr. Lahey, you know, and tweet as Mr. Lahey. So that was pretty cool as well. And rest in peace, John Dunsmore, Mr. Lahey. May you now soar above the shithawks. So that's that. Now, we're going to move on to, what are we going to move on to? We're going to move on to Canelo Alvarez. Are you guys there? Is the stream still there? That's fucked, man. Wow, okay, so I don't know where that is. It looks like I lost the stream. But what I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to just check to see if you can still see it. Can you? That is so fucked. Okay, yeah, look, guys, it looks like the feed is gonna be 2 different feeds this time around, which is really quite fucked. I don't know how far into the show I got in here, so, Jesus, do I go back and actually look at my own video to see how far we went? You know, I can do that. Can you guys bear with me, okay? We're gonna make this work. We have a can-do attitude. Can do. What I gotta do, unfortunately, now is I gotta watch myself to see exactly when these cork suckers cut me off. Okay, guys, now I know where I am. We are going to continue them shits. We're gonna pretend all of that didn't happen. You know what? I think I've reached the point where I don't give a flying fuck the fact that it does happen. I mean, what am I supposed to do, right? The stream just stopped. But what we did, and I noticed exactly where it is, it stopped. So the cut was perfect for when we edit these 2 pieces together, when we splice the episodes together. What it is that I'll do is just go straight from Gord Downie into what it is that you're watching right now, I would say, but episode 14 and what happened during episode 14. It's been an interesting ride in the sense that up to just a couple of weeks ago, the top audience that we ever had was 7,000, and I was proud of that. I really was. I mean, this is something that kind of happened happenstance, and the live broadcasts started in early May, and I guess, yeah, just continued. But 7,000, and building that. And then 2 weeks ago, the audience spiked to 53,000. 53 mil. Jesus Christ, where's my Spanish when I need it? I forgot. Milo. That's what it must be. 53,000. And when I drilled down into those stats, what it is that I noticed is that my top audience is the reason that we have that picture at the top left-hand corner of what you are watching here right now, dear friends. And that is that my top audience consisted of Mexican ladies from primarily from Distrito Federal de Mexico, between the ages of 35 and 44. So basically what I'm trying to say is that hot Latin MILFs, they love me. Me quieran. Do you understand? Me quieran. So, besos. Te amo, las chicas latinas. And, you know, obviously when something like that happens, it causes you to surmise. Why is this happening? And the picture at the top explains everything. I mean, you guys are probably thinking, wow, is that the same person? And I mean, I wouldn't blame you. I mean, okay, not a body double, close to a body double, but it's just, I'm fuck, man. Me and Canelo look so much alike. So I get it. I understand why the ladies love me in Mexico. So what happened was, this week I was curious to see, was this an anomaly? And I proceeded to do the show and look at the stats and, you know, were the stats going to be good? You're curious. Cheers. So would I be getting some more MILF Mexican love? Is my question, right? And the early stats, right? Because it's just, when it comes to this, you kind of just keep clicking to see how the whole thing went. And, you know, I'm always curious. I want to make sure that I am providing you with top flight entertainment at all times. Okay, so as looking at the stats, I was drilling down again to see who the audience was. And sure enough, it was Mexicans. And between the ages of 35 and 44. And then my heart sank. My heart sank because the fear of God took over me when I realized that the audience were all men. I began to think, these are fucking jealous Latino lovers who now want to kick the shit out of me. Why? Because, well, their hot wives, you know, may or may not be masturbating to my videos. So they might be angry. So all of a sudden I began to fear for my life. I really hope I don't get the shit kicked out of me by a bunch of angry Mexicans. But as time went on and the numbers started exploding, and they exploded, and we didn't hit 53, but can I tell you what we did hit? Last week's audience was 44,000 people. And by the end, when all was said and done, it was Mexican ladies again that loved me, but with a twist. With a delicious little twist. Now, it wasn't the 35 to 44 crowd that were digging on me. No. Now, we were beginning to get into the fucking top-level aged pussy, the añejo. Mexican ladies between the age of 45 to 54. Me quieran. Me amos. You understand? They love me. They love me. The fucking the women that pass on the Mexican traditions of masturbating furiously to their Mexican heroes. They like me. I look like Canelo. Who the fuck? I mean, listen. I've told you about pussy runoff, right? Pussy runoff is... I told you about my friend. He looks like... He got laid a lot. Didn't get laid up. The reason he got laid a lot is because he looked like Bruce Willis. It's the same type of thing. So, episode 14 was very, very, very successful. And very clearly... behaving like a dumbass really, really works for the hot Latin market. So, besos todos. Where do we go from here? I think we're going to look at my notes. My notes will follow. You walk away now. Walk away. I will follow. Yeah, okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get into the review part of the show, the VJ review part of the show. No, we don't. Oh, fuck. Yeah, what else is left? Oh, yeah, okay, we're going to talk about Record Store Day, Black Friday 2017. The list came out a couple of days ago, and I had looked at it and glanced, just briefly. The reason I don't pay too much attention to it is because, well, I don't go to those things. The idea of being pushed around, so that we can all fucking snag one record, fuck that noise. The idea of people being in line and trying to snag what they can so that it shows up at exorbitant prices also is something I can't get down with either. I love Record Store Day. I celebrate Record Store Day. But I'm not the audience. I'm really glad that it's helping to grow the entire thing, and I think it's noble. So before we start talking about all the bad things, let's just, I think always keep into consideration that the good things are really good. Okay, and I think they still adhere to those types of values. But where it is that I'm going with this is that we'll be having a Record Store Day discussion with Andrew Rossiter of Org Music, whose label released 4 Record Store Day records, and I don't know two of them, but I know some, and they're going to be good. So I wanted to share those with you and announce a really good contest, because we're going to give away this Record Store Day exclusive stuff. Yeah, you won't even have to go to the store. We'll pick out some winners. You want to know what the records are now, don't you? All right, well, why don't you let me tell you. First off, we have Mike Watt, Contemplating the Engine Room, which is being reissued. I don't know anything about Mike Watt, and I'm perfectly comfortable with the fact that I don't, because that's what the discussion's going to be about. Me and Rossiter are going to talk about it, and the fact that I'm being introduced to a new artist is something that I cherish. I love it, so I look forward to the conversation. But, you know, I'm kind of hoping that a bunch of you are saying, oh shit, that's going to be an amazing record. Good. But Mike Watt, Contemplating the Engine Room, is one of them. Another one, which I don't know, but Rossiter was kind of like hipping me to a little bit, is Tav Falco, who seems to have this kind of weird following and always wanted to make a Christmas album. So he's releasing a Christmas album, a Tav Falco Christmas. Again, these are the two artists that I don't know. And if you guys have records from either Mike Watt or Tav Falco, post them up. I'm curious. I'm sure other people are curious as well. Now, the two that do interest me a whole lot is there's a compilation of garage rock that they're putting out called Garage Days, American Garage Rock from the 1960s. Just a bunch of stuff that never went anywhere. A bunch of kids. They got in their garage, they plugged in and made a big noise, and it sounds like shit, but it's raw and it's beautiful, and there's tons of these types of compilations, and I love them all. Norton does a lot of them, but I know that Rossiter has a big love for the rockabilly and this whole style of music, and that's why Org does the curation of, let's say, the Sun catalog and the rockabilly stuff very well. So I'm looking forward to hearing what that is, and doesn't matter, man, it's garage rock. I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it, and I trust the person who's curating it. And finally, probably the one that I'm looking most forward to is Albert Eiler and Don Cherry, Vibrations. It's a record that was also known as Ghost once upon a time, and hasn't been reissued in a long time. And, you know, if you like the late period Coltrane and Pharoah Sanders, then Albert Eiler is right in there. And Don Cherry, I mean, played the pocket trumpet for no less than Ornette Coleman. So these are two monsters, and it's a record that called Vibrations, again, that I haven't heard, but it hasn't been reissued in a long time, and that's one that I'm looking very, very forward to hearing. So we're going to be talking about that and just Record Store Day in general from somebody who knows it, somebody who makes records and releases them. Actually, for those of you who do buy that RSD, the RSD catalog, you probably have seen the RSD Sun Record compilations. Yeah, man, Org Music and Rossiter's behind all that. The fun part about all this, can I tell you? Go to their site, orgmusic.com, all 10% off. 10% off. VJ10, you just throw that shit in. And there we go. So, what it is that they did during this last conversation that we had was we started talking about the Grateful Dead. Now, I don't shit on any music because, you know, it's a time and place thing and it's entirely subjective. But I'm not a deadhead. I'm not. I mean, I have a pretty decent idea of why I'm not a deadhead. I'm a racist. I generally just, I mean, if I just look at the numbers in my collection, I'm way too proactive because most of my collection is black composers and black players, and I got a massive amount of jazz and R&B and soul and funk, and that's the stuff that moves me the most. And yeah, I just lost my train of thought. That cough just kind of opened up a bunch of things in my head. Do you understand? But I'll get back. You guys know I fucking ramble. Where was I? It's your job to put me back on track. God damn it. Am I on? I gotta be on. It says I'm on. What the fuck was I talking about? Grateful Dead. You know what it is? I should probably even put the, here, look. Does it make sense? Eh? Everything's a little bit more, organized now, synchronized, because you can see the visual. That's what I'm talking about right there. Okay? So we're having this conversation, Rossiter and I, and, he says, you know, you should really review this, Grateful Dead box set. And I told him, look, I'm not a Dead fan. I'm not sure that I'm the guy, right? Because if I'm going to sit around and listen to stuff, it's just, I'm a funk guy, man. It's what I like. It's, white guys noodling isn't really so much my thing. I like prog rock, but I can only handle so much. The minute they start getting into wankery, it's not for me. And to me, you know, it never appealed to me. It was all very white. And if I like white, you know, give me the Allman Brothers. That's a little bit more my style. Again, what am I talking about here? Am I talking about that the Grateful Dead suck? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not for me, right? But I acknowledge what it is and can tell you that my very, very first experience of the Grateful Dead was in my university days. What had happened is news had broken out that the venerable Jerry Garcia had died. And when that happened, the university I went to was very, very close to a Ben & Jerry's, and a lineup began forming because people were buying Cherry Garcia ice cream, or I believe maybe, no, what was happening is that they were giving away free Cherry Garcia ice cream cones to, you know, commemorate the death of Jerry. So a lineup began to form, and it got long, you know, and then they're, no, fuck this, I'm going to get in. And I got in. You know why? Because when you're a starving student, an ice cream cone, you guys call that a treat. I call it lunch. So I got in line and I waited the fuck out of it. And you know the funny thing? You want to know the best part? I'm not a fan of cherry ice cream. I like it more now, but I definitely didn't care for it then. But fuck it, I need to eat lunch. So I get in line. Coming out of one of my philosophy classes or something. And I get in line and... on the day that Jerry Garcia died, I, dear friends, had a Cherry Garcia ice cream cone for lunch. And that's, by and large, my experience with most of the Dead. I know about the hundreds of millions of bootlegs. I know the loyal following. I know all the jokes, and I get them. I think I do, at least, but every time I listened to the music, there was nothing about it that kind of piqued my interest. As far as I'm concerned, I may or may have not said this before, but to me, I always saw music in three kind of categories, generally speaking. Music that gets you up here. Music that gets you in here, and music that grabs you down here. And there's a mixture of all of it, you know, but those are kind of the three basic categories. And whatever categories Grateful Dead would hit, there were always bands that just hit it in a way that hit better. So if I have to listen to a 3 or 4 hour jam, you know, that's happened. And have you ever seen Maceo Parker perform? That dude doesn't get off the fucking stage. So same deal with Bootsy Collins, right? New Bootsy Collins album coming out. I can't wait to receive that. And yes, I will talk about the new Bootsy Collins record. It's coming. But Going and watch somebody like Maceo Parker. Happened what? It must have happened in the late 90s or something. Huge funk phase for me, but he came in with just a full band. Fucking blaring horns, and it was a really small club. It was loud, and they threw down so hard, everyone was dancing. It wasn't a concert, it was a fucking cardiovascular workout. It was a sweat box. And it was a blast, and I was there with a bunch of friends, and they were dancing, and everyone's happy, right? And then they just kept going on. An hour 2 came in, and people dance and dance. Some of them are now starting to watch, and by hour 2, some people started filing out, started getting long and stuff, and then they get into hour 3, and between hour 2 and 3, my friends, hey man, we're leaving. And coincidence or not, they're not my friends anymore. But by the time hour 4 rolled around, the place was pretty empty. There were just a couple of us watching. Because I got into this thing where it's like, I gotta see how fucking long this fucker goes. I gotta see. I can't outlast him, it's very clear, but I gotta make sure that I'm here until the end. I just want to live to tell the fucking tale. And yeah, man, they closed the show out after maybe 4 hours, and there weren't many people. And they got off the stage, remember, they looked satisfied. As if the entire point of the show is, we're going to close this motherfucker out. And that's exactly what they did, right? So, why am I talking about Maceo Parker this way? Because in the same type of thing when, this is one concert here, what was it? On the 4th of July, this was recorded on the 4th of July, 1989. I'm going to grab the record and show it to you, okay? Actually, why don't I put it on? I know it's blasphemy, but we'll have to cover Lucien. And what we'll do is we'll just put the box set so that you see what I'm talking about. So, the deal is that... 1989, the 4th of July, this box, this concert, and it's like over 5 LPs, right? 10 sides. It's a lot of music. It's fucking hours and hours and hours of it. And that's always been the mystique of the Deadheads, right? That's always been the thing, right? They get in a car and they follow the dead from place to place, and there's tens of thousands, sometimes 100,000 plus people, sitting around in the lawn and fucking doing drugs and being dirty while the Grateful Dead are on stage noodling around. And that's all captured in audiophile glory on this 5 LP box set, which is, in my opinion, the epitome of... it's one of the most beautiful box sets I own, legit. And it was pressed at Palace and all the quality stuff that org music is known for. But I still do kind of feel a little fucked talking about the Grateful Dead, because I'm not a Dead fan. And I told him, look, I'm not a Dead fan. He goes, no, dude, just grab it and listen to it. Just grab it and look at it. Okay, I get why he sent it. If you're a Dead fan, you want that. Christmas is coming up. That rocks. If you're a Dead fan, it's not going to convert anybody into a Dead thing. It's just not, right? Because I've never been to a Grateful Dead concert, but, they go on, eh? And it goes on and on for a good while. So while it is that I was listening to this music, I realized it's like, oh, this is really nice. And I guess I can understand why people would want to go to the Grateful Dead, because, it's the kind of stuff that you can kind of listen to in the background. And if you're there with your little blanket and you set it down on a patch of grass and you smoke some drugs and you drop some acid, you know that the band's going to come on and they're going to be there for a little while. So if you just happen to drift away into a nap, it's a pretty guilt-free nap, because rest assured, when you wake up from your nap, even if it's a good one, the Grateful Dead will still be playing. And the idea of spreading out this blanket, I'm pretty sure that I'd go into the parking lot and buy like some Deadhead stuff, tie-dye shit. It's beautiful. I have a Grateful Dead actual huge flag, right here in the record cave. So, I mean, it's iconography. You understand? The word's not coming to me. But I would do all of that, and I thought of myself laying on this patch of grass and taking a nap while the noodlings of the Grateful Dead lull me to sleep. And to me, that was a very pleasant experience. And I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing at all, so don't take it that way. Don't misconstrue. I fall asleep to Brian Eno's music for airports all the time. It's probably my go-to soundtrack when I need to fall asleep, because it's perfect. So it sounds to me like the Dead that whole Dead thing was probably a trip. But what's funny is it takes me back to a song from the 80s, that talks about Deadhead stickers on a Cadillac. And when I think of the Grateful Dead, that's what I think of, Deadhead stickers on a Cadillac, which is to say that, if you're going to follow a band around from city to city, you got to buy tickets for all those cities. You got to gas up your car, even if you're not buying hotel, none of that shit. You're camping, right? You're doing this shit real cheap, but you got to put in for gas. You got to buy the tickets. You're doing drugs. So you're doing a bunch of drugs from place to place. It gets expensive. Chances are that a lot of the people there either have Deadhead stickers on their Cadillacs or have parents that fit that description. That's not a bad thing. It's, as a matter of fact, it's not even an observation from me. It's an observation by Don Henley. So if you think I'm insulting them, fuck you. Blame it on Don Henley. So you see this box set here? It is made for that because it is luxury. It is deluxe. It is 180 gram. And if this was a John Coltrane box set, I would have a fucking boner. But it's a Grateful Dead box set. So if you're a Grateful Dead fan and Grateful Dead, like really high quality, gorgeous sounding Grateful Dead stuff gives you a boner, then you want that. Because it sounds good. And side 7 was really the only side I think I'll ever listen to again, because there was a track called Drums where, Mickey Hart does his whole thing, but it wasn't wankery like you see with a lot of drum solos, right? It's like, go watch Alex Van Halen and he fucking destroys the shit out of his drums. It's like, it's all really nice, but the technical proficiency sometimes gets really lost on me. To me, give me a drummer like Elvin Jones or Philly Joe Jones and every other Jones you can think of, because these guys, I don't know, there's a certain style. I'm a jazz guy. What am I talking about? But even that, death metal drummers sometimes bring that jazz thing into their drumming as well. I'm thinking about that fucking drummer from Necrophagist. Holy smokes. But Mickey Hart here on side 7, the track is called Drums. It's just, he creates kind of like just a soundscape that's very percussive, and it kind of like not nearly as fusiony or funky or dark as Miles Davis's 70s percussive stuff, but it had some of that nice percussion that was really cool, and it created a crazy vibe. And the song after that was a little bit also of a ambient type thing that kind of gets you in the zone. I liked it, so yeah, that's the deal, man. Just so long as A, I'm not paying for the fucking ticket, B, I got a patch of land and a comfy blanket, and the people next to me, if they want to do drugs, that's okay. I try not to partake. They are evil, and I don't believe in them. So, but I'd go watch it, sure. I mean, provided, I can take a guilt-free nap in the middle of the 4-hour extravaganza. And if I was at the show on July the 4th, 1989, 19 years old, I would have bought this as a memento. It's true. And that, dear friends, is my review of Grateful Dead, Truckin' Up to Buffalo, up? Grateful Dead, Truckin' Up to Buffalo, July 4th, 1989. We will move on. I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm so happy he took that Dead box set away. It's like, now at least we can look at Lucien. Don't worry about it, dear friends. We'll make sure we do this right. I will satiate you. We're going to move on to the next review. Which one's it going to be? We're going to do Lee Perry, man. We're going to do Upsetters. What the fuck? Sorry. Hey, it's there. Awesome. Lee Perry. This was a exclusive VMP pick in this month's store. I don't know if you guys picked that up, but I'll pick up anything from Scratch Perry. Absolutely anything. So I was thrilled to have this one. The early albums from Lee Perry aren't really indicative of the sound that he went on to, create for himself in Black Ark Studios. The studio wizardry would come only after. Here, the first 3 albums are just fucking groovy. And they kind of give you an idea of where it's headed, but not so much. But you know how it is that I talk about how Vinyl Me Please, their pressings are always so good and stuff. I would like to tell you that this record doesn't sound good. Packaging is okay, it's nice, but what I would also like to tell you, and any reggae fan knows this, is that a lot of reggae records don't sound good to begin with. So, it's right down to the source material. If you're buying a record like Eastwood Rides Again, Upsetters, it's because the music is amazing. I guess I compare it to early, why would you listen to early blues, or why would you listen to, what the hell's that label? The field recordings, the Lomax recordings, right? Folkways, yeah. Well, because that's kind of part of the culture. And part of the culture of collecting reggae is that they're going to sound like shit. They're pressed like garbage, especially if they're pressed in Jamaica. Expect the craziest stuff. Like expect, labels that are completely off-center and little pieces of paper in the actual wax because they use recycled vinyl. That's stuff that happens so much in old reggae records. And old reggae records aren't easy to find either. So for me, the chance of finding a copy of Eastwood Rides Again wasn't going to happen. I knew that. I knew that it wasn't going to be easy for me to find that. So I was thrilled. So believe me, when it is that I'm telling you that, the record doesn't sound all that good or whatever, I can tell you that that's because the originals didn't sound that good either. Okay. One thing that is good, especially when you're talking about Jamaican pressings, is at least it's on a clean piece of wax. But you want Reggae 101, man? That's one of the first 3. The first 3 records are really the ones that kind of like are pre-Black Ark. But once he hits Black Ark, and then it starts getting into the album with the fucking gorilla. What's the album? Super Ape, man. Super Ape and Return of Super Ape and all the rest of those. That's another thing altogether, and I worship that entire period. So, I don't know how many more copies are there of Eastwood Rides Again, but there you go. What I'll do now is move on to Underground Kings. You know what's fucking uncomfortable? Can I tell you what's uncomfortable? Jesus Christ. I feel kind of like I have to address the Grails thing. I hate it. Look, I try to put on the best thing I can for you here. What it is that I'm trying to do here with Vinyl Junkies is just bring the people together. Bring the people who buy and appreciate and support the art together with the people who make it possible for you to enjoy it. The people who create it. You know, for me, it plays right into the vinyl experience. It creates stories, right? And the fact, what it is that pleases me is this idea of just adding stories to your record collection the same way that we all have stories to record collections. But the idea of Vinyl Junkies adding stories to your record collection is, fuck, man. It's the reason I get up in the morning, man. I love that. I really do. I know, you know, the place the music has in my life. So in trying to do this promotion, I try to do everything right as much as possible, really. And I try to make everyone happy. Whether I do so or not is another thing, but the effort's there. So what it is that I did was I put together this thing where, you know, the Grails are currently on tour. I think they're going to be on tour for another week. So, you know, we put all of our things together and we worked, you know, I worked and with partners, with our partners and sponsors to do something really special for you guys. With the 2 weeks that the Grails were on the tour, what we would do is we would make it so that we can support the band and actually make a tangible difference to them and just create something that's very community oriented and offer the opportunity for these artists, you know, to have access to people who make up this group and maybe heard of Grails here for the first time. I really like that idea, but, you know, what do you want me to say, man? I'm the type of guy who reads a book like Thomas More's Utopia and thinks that's a wonderful thing. So maybe my head's in the cloud, but I kind of believe that even if things are impossible, you know, try to do the good thing all the time and just work according to that. So it's with that spirit in mind that I thought, hey man, why don't we make a difference here? I can make everyone happy. The way it is that I'm going to make everyone happy is I really want temporary residents. I cherish those guys. I want temporary residents to be able to get exposure for their excellent catalog of music. So I spoke to Hessler at Vinyl Me Please, and we put together so that Vinyl Me Please included. If you check in the web store right now, go to the Vinyl Me Please store. It's one, you know, if you want to pick it as a prize, that's fine. It's available. Okay. But, we had Vinyl Me Please stock the records in time for, you know, a tour. And we asked temporary residents to put a nice poster inside. And just because I wanted to do something a little extra and a little nicer for you. And the level that I wanted to add on top of that was, you know, they sell, I mean, the guys from Grails sell a lot of merch, man. They sell vinyl. And it's important to support indie bands. It's important to, you know, to buy the merch and just do that. So for me, the idea of sending people there and making a difference and supporting art in the just in the most grassroots, honest way I know how. That's the reason I get up in the morning. I love that shit. So we put all of this together, and all the pieces are nice, right? Bunch of records at Vinyl Me Please web shop. They're available, so we've managed to sell a couple of records for them. Now, the tour is here. The tour is coming by on Monday, so, you know, we speak to the representatives at the record label. Let's make this happen. How's this going to happen, this interview? I don't know. I mean, to me, I went as far as making my fucking house available. You know, it's just, let's grab a seat, let's fucking smoke each other, you know, let's smoke one out and listen to some sides, and we can do an interview like that, and you're more than welcome. As a matter of fact, are you hungry? Use my barbecue. You know, just that type of a thing. Now, of course, you know, listen, you don't want to be presumptuous. You don't want to be presumptuous. Just because that's the spirit of it, it doesn't mean anybody gives a shit about it. It doesn't mean that anybody cares about it. It doesn't mean any of that. It doesn't. Okay? So, in terms of feeling like anybody owes anybody, that's nah. Okay? You can't force people to do anything. They gotta want to do what they want. So, I guess what it is that I'm driving at is that last Monday was when they came to, Montreal, and I wasn't hearing anything, and I'd spoken about it on Saturday, and all of this time, like, really, I can say without exaggeration, like dozens of hours over months. We've been putting this together since the summer. You know why? Just to make everybody happy, including you guys, to give you guys something special. I fucking cherish the audience, man. I thank God every day that I could do this type of a thing, because, working in the arts is the best thing in the world. So for me, on all points, this was amazing. And I wanted it, The problem is the band didn't want it. And so much so that I haven't even heard from them. They haven't even reached out. Nothing. They knew about it, well ahead of time. So we had all the time in the world to discuss whether or not it was going to happen to begin with. And no is fine. I mean, I think it's everyone's prerogative. And but we could have discussed what's comfortable. We could have discussed everything. You just keep things open. And I mean, in the end, you want everybody to be comfortable. And in the end, you want everybody to be happy, which is to say that you want the band to sell tickets and merch, and you want to be able to put the entire promotion together. And you do it for the purest of reasons, for the art, for the music, and to make people happy. Genuinely, okay? To render service to people. I still haven't heard from the guest of honor, so I failed you. And I'm embarrassed, because I'm somebody that I live by a certain credo. Say what you do and do what you say. Simple. And I made a mistake. What it is that I made a mistake with is I didn't have any. Listen, it all seemed fantastic. It's not like we just, this came out of the blue, but I hadn't spoken to the bands directly or anything like this, and still said it was happening, and it didn't happen. But the fact of the matter is right down to the last fucking minute, I didn't know if it was going to happen or not, because, well, I never heard. And as far as I know, they contacted the label only that morning, type of thing. So, and I know, listen, this is not a question of throwing people under the bus. This is a question of, I don't know, man, I wouldn't do it to anybody. It's just, it's not my thing, But, they say, I posted up my disappointment. There's a post up in Vinyl Junkies about the fact that it didn't happen. And by the time I saw it wasn't going to happen, I hadn't heard nothing. It's just, I realized, you know what? Fuck, I don't even have the heart to go to the concert. It's just, I feel so defeated. So, who the fuck do I think I am, right? 50,000 last week, 50,000 this week. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, the fact is, whether it be 50, 500, 5,000, or 5 million, you put the same amount of work into it. You do it with the same level. I can't, I still haven't heard from the band. What do you want me to tell you, man? I haven't heard from the band. I'm fucking flabbergasted. It's my first real attempt to do something super cool for everyone involved, and it's my first real attempt to work on a format that I know is going to work. Guys, this is going to work. I have a really nice format in mind, and I promise you'll like it. And the Grails were supposed to be that first step, but, you know, I guess the first is that they're the first band to completely fucking disregard any of it. So, sorry, guys. I let you down, man. I'll try to do better, okay? I promise. I'll try to do better. Jeremy, Temperez, you're a fucking doll. You're awesome, okay? Because when I expressed my disappointment, Jeremy contacted me just 2 minutes later and got it, okay? And I can tell you that business isn't sloppy. Business doesn't have to be raggedy, because a record label like Temperez treats people with kindness and fairness and integrity. And the first contact I ever had with the folks there was because they sent me a big package, the entire book's discography, including the solo albums by Zamuro and Paul de Jong. They sent me the whole thing because they saw me say something about the VMP album of the month, their The Lemon of Pink. So it was an act of kindness that started that relationship, and I cherish it. And thanks for calling, man, and I wish it would have went better, you know. And you know what the good news is? The good news is that I know for a fact that some of you went to the show because you heard about it here and you bought some stuff. Thank you for telling me that. It does make me feel better. And you know, I've spoken to Hessler, and sounds like they're down to their last single digits of the record, so they're pretty close to sold out of the album. So I mean, from my side of things, from that side of things, and from you, the most important, you guys' side of things, you're winners. Okay, it worked. But I hit the post, man. And that's the way life goes sometimes. So, I thought I was going to talk about UGK, but I think I've realized that I'm kind of fed up of talking. It's probably not by mistake that this entire thing, anyway, whatever. So, next week, okay? I got to pick a winner. I do need to pick a winner. And I forgot the numbers. I had them, but you know what? Since I just... last week, this is from last week's numbers, not this week, okay? This week, you guys will get them, but now we're going to pick our winner. Number 8 from last week, you win a record, okay? What you do is just visit the link that's up there, or go to app.vinylmeplease.com, and you will get your pick of records. Okay, so number 8, congratulations. Please, that we will be in contact with you, or contact us. In terms of this week, what we see from our live viewers, we have a couple of picks just sent by Eric. So the first name that I got was Mark Allen Tofsrud. So Mark Allen Tofsrud, you win, man. Congrats. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. It all means a lot. Okay, and I'll do the best I motherfucking can. So, sayonara.